First off, it's Charles J. That just in case you ain't heard of me. They told me it was too late, but I promise that I'll be the first to speak. Most of these rappers, they fake, but you can't have your way. This ain't Burkhead. Everybody said it won't be till they see smoke, then they realize they'd rather have turkey meat.
What it do, what it do. It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. Say, man, we back in the kitchen. We cooking, man. Yeah, man, I gotta be honest with you. Shanquella Robinson, her death was definitely a setup. And I gotta be honest with you. I just started following this story yesterday. Yeah, last night I've heard about it, but I just never really looked into it. I just heard little shit. You know, I heard that. I heard different things, and I just never looked into the story. And I don't know what made me. I just looked into it. Matter of fact, I heard somebody talking about it, and I just decided to look into the story. But it was definitely a setup, definitely. And this a cold story, man. It actually it pissed me off just learning about this shit. Cold shit, man. So much they've uncovered, so much evidence. Man, this woman was a business owner. She owned a boutique and clothing store. Beautiful woman. She was very successful. She had been taking trips, so this wasn't nothing new. She'd been to Vegas, been different places, and she was really doing her thing. Seemed like a very happy person. I seen little videos of her with her friends, and she looked very happy. They went to Mexico, and she was dead within a day. Within a day of that trip, she was dead. Friendship, man. We talk a lot about friendship. A lot of time we just want to be accepted. We all, to some degree, we all somewhat want to be accepted. In some form or way, we want to be accepted in this life that we live. And I think she wanted to be accepted by her friends. They've known each other since they was kids, so it's just that they wasn't successful and she had become successful. They were still living the same kind of life. They had nothing really going for themselves. But she was very successful and she stood out. She was the freshman queen of. She was like one of them. She was the most popular girl in school. She was somebody that everybody was drawn to. But she chose to take these friends on a trip. Video come up of one of the girls beating up. And I gotta mention this. I gotta say this because dudes have become so messy. Look, I'm all for my woman standing her ground when it comes to another woman. But I'm not one of them dudes that always want my woman to fight. We grown, bro. Most situations don't even cause for a fight to take place. A lot of times, a little correction solve most issues, especially with women. For them dudes to sit there and watch, it's one thing if they was just fighting. And even if she was fighting back and they were just fighting, I'd have broke that shit up. Me personally, I'd have broke that up. For one, y'all friends, and I'm not finna let y'all just sit here and fight and just keep. I'd have broke that shit up. But the girl wasn't even fighting back, and they let that shit go down. The girl was just hitting. I've never respected somebody who beat on somebody that don't even want to fight back. The girl didn't want no trouble. She was she wasn't with all that. She wasn't even trying to fight the girl. The girl was just wailing on her. That was the morning of her. She died that evening. At 2:50 they called the emergency room, but they said it wasn't an emergency. They just needed a doctor to the room. Yeah, they did some shit. They didn't call for an ambulance or none of that. They called for a doctor to come. The doctor come around 3 something. Say she tried to give her IV, but it wouldn't go through or some shit. Said she was dehydrated. The friends said that she had alcohol poisoning and she had been drinking a lot. That's what they all said. The doctor was there for about an hour. So the doctor sent the ambulance, and they picked her up, and they pronounced her dead by 6 p.m. The friends they all left. They flew back over here, and they brought her luggage. Brought it to her mama house. A few of them went to her mama house and sat and ate dinner with her, and they just said she had alcohol poisoning. She alright. She just she just gotta recover from alcohol poisoning. And she was later that day pronounced dead. So I'm looking at this, and boy, they was in a hurry to get back. They flew the fuck. They didn't check to see how she was. I wonder if any of them even visited the hospital. And also, autopsy would come back and reported. The ambulance came at 6 o'clock. I want to say she was dead at 3. When that nurse said she was trying to get an IV and all this and that, she was dead at 3 p.m. And she didn't have alcohol in her system. She didn't die of alcohol poison. She died of severe spinal damage. Her spine was severely damaged, and bone, and she had torn fractures in her neck. That means her neck was she was battered, and not only was she battered, she suffered when she died. That's what the autopsy came back and said. Out of all this, what angers me more than anything, it's a dude. I can't remember his name, but you just gotta look him up. But that was like her best friend, and she grew up with him, and he always hung out at her house with her parents, and he was sitting there watching that girl beat on him. And not only that, he flew back and he sat down and ate with that girl mama, and was keeping in touch with her. Even after the death, he was coming by. When that autopsy report came back, he left. He stopped contacting the mama because the cat was out the bag. Wasn't no alcohol in her system. All y'all said it was alcohol in her. She was alcohol poor. She had been drinking a lot. Wasn't no alcohol in her system. So it was a lot of jealousy. I think it was planned. I definitely think it was planned. You gotta understand, man, if you it's levels to success, and when you start achieving and acquiring a success, you gotta be real careful who you choose as your friend. Cause everybody wanna be your friend when you're successful. Man, you can be the most unlikable person. You can be a person that's just not even likable. But if you got money, if you look successful to a person that's not as successful as you, they gonna want to befriend you. It's gonna be ones that's gonna prey on that, and they're gonna prey on your downfall. So you just got to be careful who you choose as your friends. That's why I'm very careful who I choose as my friend. I'm careful who I call my brother, because trust is something that's earned. It ain't something that's just given. So this is definitely a sad story. Man, her parents, man, I got to give y'all a shout. Her sister, man, shout out to y'all for fighting for her. That's how you fight for the ones you love, because these days we don't even fight for the ones we love. So shout out to you for fighting for your daughter. This definitely, man, I'm gonna tell you another thing. One of the, when I first seen this story, what disturbed me the most is that this is the picture that was popped up all over, because it's a lot of other pictures she got. Like, it always disturbed me that this is the picture they show the most after her death, with no bra on, no shirt on. I know it's beauty, I know it's art, but now that's not the kind of picture you show after somebody done died. And they even had wings on her behind the picture of her with no shirt on. But yeah, that was just something that was disturbing to me. But definitely prayers to her family, man. Beautiful woman, successful, was definitely doing her thing, man. 25 years old. This definitely disturbs me. But to that dude that grew up with her, man, and sit there and let that happen to her, that woman, and you was supposed to be her best friend. I'm gonna tell you some. The people we call our enemies ain't them. Don't even be the enemies, bro. You gotta watch that one that come around. You want to sit up under you. You gotta watch them, bro. Watch them. Gotta watch them. Gotta watch these motherfuckers. Watch their facial expression when you tell them good news about yourself and when you tell them bad news. Just watch the facial expression. Sometimes they give it away. A lot of goddamn hate. It's so much hate amongst one another that you just gotta be careful. You can't even give good news. You can't even tell a motherfucker nothing good. You can't even tell a motherfucker you had a good day. Cause they day wasn't shit and they don't want yours to be shit. So they say birds of a feather flock together, but nah, this ain't the case. She was different and she stood out and she was special. She was trying to be great and she was denied of that greatness by some people she called her friends. This is 903 Boxing. I am your host, Charles J. With that, I'm out.